Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Greg. I've been racking my brain to try to find purchases, both big and small, that will save you money. Coming in at number one, we have books, and not just any book. I'm going to go ahead and recommend Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And I think that having the base fundamental knowledge when it comes to money and how it works is extremely important. And honestly, this book has changed my life for the better. And I know that sounds super cliche. Oh, read more books and it'll change your life. And I've read a lot of other financial books, whether it be the 10X by Grant Cardone or the Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. But I can honestly say that Rich Dad Poor Dad has changed me the most. Total Money Makeover is more about saving, and the 10X is basically about getting stuff done. So I would consider those books to be more behavior modification when the Rich Dad Poor Dad hits on the core principles of what money is and how it operates. And once you understand the core principles of money, it opens so many other doors. Side note, if half the people that watched my videos last month were subscribed, I'd have 6,000 subscribers. So go ahead and do your part and hit that subscribe button. It's right there. Number two would be a reliable used car. So with this, we have two ends of the spectrum. We have the old crappy car that you've been driving for the last 10 years that everything is breaking on and it costs you $3,500 just in repairs to keep running every year. And at this end of the spectrum, we have a brand new car that is going to depreciate at the same rate that if you were to drop a cinder block off of a boat into a river. So in both these examples, you're going to lose an excessive amount of money. But right in the middle, we have a good used car. Now, when I say good used car, I mean reliable. I'm not saying cool car. I'm not saying fancy car. Good used car. Some examples of a good used car would be like a Toyota Camry, a Toyota Corolla, a Toyota RAV4, a Honda Accord. Now, none of these cars are going to turn heads. You're not going to roll up to a night hanging out with your friends and be like, oh, cool car. It's not a BMW. It's not a Mercedes. It's not going to up your coolness factor. But if you can shelf your pride and realize that in 5 years, this good, reliable used car will only have cost you what you paid for it minus the depreciation, and your friend that's going out and buying the brand new Mercedes will have paid an excessive amount of depreciation and will have already lost the opportunity cost between what you paid for your reliable used car versus what they paid for their brand new car. So to sum up, this will save you money in the long run. And number three is LED light bulbs. And I'm not going to be the person that's going to be able to tell you the actual savings in the kilowatt hours or what the actual bulb is going to cost you to run other than what it tells me on the back of the packet. But I can say that this is something that I'm doing, that every time a halogen bulb in my house burns out, instead of replacing it with another halogen bulb that will eventually burn out, I just have a stockpile of LED light bulbs that I've purchased from Dollar Tree, keep in mind for $1, and I just replace that bulb. And I have never had to replace one of those LED bulbs. So not only does the back of the package tell me that I'm saving money by running this bulb, I'm also not having to replace them. So realistically, when I run out of halogen bulbs, I won't have to pay to replace a light bulb for a very long time. And number four would be a reusable water bottle. So if you go ahead and push the environmental debate of plastic water bottles aside and look at just the numbers, if you were to use a case of water every 2 weeks at $4 a case, that's $96 a year in water. You can get a good used water bottle for $20. And that's for one of the fancy ones. And for all the people that are like, oh, I don't like the taste, then just go ahead and buy a water purifier. Between buying your new reusable water bottle and a water purifier, you're still spending less than $100 a year on water. So coming in at number five, we have a coffee maker or an espresso maker, whatever you prefer. Because let's say you're spending $5 getting coffee 4 times a week. That's $1,040 in coffee every single year. Now let's be honest, everybody likes to get coffee every once in a while. It tastes good, you get the fancy drink, but in reality, do you really want to be spending $1,000 a year on coffee? Now you can still buy the premium beans, the small batch Ethiopian twice brewed. I don't know a lot about coffee. I'm not saying you have to buy the Folgers. I'm just saying that you can either get the Mr. Coffee for $20 or you can even spend $100 on an espresso machine if that's what it's going to take for you to enjoy your coffee every day. But let's be honest, we all drink a lot of coffee, and at $5 a drink, it's a lot of money, and money that's really not necessary to be spent. And number six is a George Foreman grill, because these are so versatile. You can make burgers, you can make steaks, you can use it to crisp up chicken nuggets, you can make French fries on it. And I put this on the list in hopes that it'll replace going out to eat, because the Foreman will give you some options to create food that tastes a little better or a little different than typical cooking, because there's no point in going out and buying a panini at a restaurant when you can make a panini at home on your Foreman. So let's say you go out to eat 4 days a week at $9 a meal. That's $1,872 going out to eat every single year, when a George Foreman is probably going to cost you $80 for the big one. So coming in at number 7, I'm going to put education. So I'm going to say a phrase that I'm sure you've heard 1,000 times. Education is key. And honestly, education is key, but just not the education that they're teaching. Now I don't want to get into a debate on the education system and how I feel like it is flawed, but I'm just going to leave a statement here. When was the last time you used British literature at all? Ever. But you got out of high school and you realized, wow, I wish I knew how to file my taxes. So that's why I put purchasing education as a way to save money in the future. Because let's say you decide to go to college, you're spending money in your education, you're going to get a good job. Let's say you want to be a real estate investor and you purchase a course on real estate investing or how to trade stocks or how to become a drone pilot. It's okay to spend money on things that are going to make you money. You're going to be more diligent about learning about a topic that you're interested in. Because at that point, it's not education as the typical sense means. You're just spending your free time learning about something that you want to learn to further your knowledge. So then last on the list, we have real estate. So now even if you don't go ahead and buy an under market value deal, fix it, and then it's worth more, even if you just purchase a house or a duplex or whatever it would be, you still get to take advantage of natural appreciation. So even though it's a big upfront cost, I think something to remember is that there's a big difference between the housing prices in 2000 versus housing prices in 2020. And with that, I think it's safe to assume that it will continue from now moving forward. And I, for one, would like to take advantage of natural appreciation. Like always, I hope this was helpful. I'll catch you next video.